Here with men and women's cross-country coach Donald Leech as your teams are back in action this week against Charleston, West Virginia. The women's team finished 7th last week and Sarah Elbin finished 31st. I know the team's been battling injuries part of the season. How do you feel about the team moving forward?
We have finally been starting to move forward. We've had quite an outbreak, a remarkable outbreak of injuries and illnesses throughout the whole team this season from the beginning, but they've slowly been rebuilding. Berea College on Saturday, we got everybody through the race healthy and starting to improve their performances, so we're feeling better about ourselves and ready to move forward and compete.
You had a highlight last week in Gracecratic, who had a personal best time. How encouraging was it for you to see this improvement that she made in this race?
Oh, that was wonderful. She's a freshman and she came in with a goal in mind for the season, and she's already on a second race surpassing that goal, and very excited about it, and we think she's going to keep improving and surprise herself and many others just how well she's going to do. It's very exciting to see.
This week you traveled to Charleston for a meet against MEC competition. What can you tell us about the other schools in the MEC on both men's and women's side?
It's going to be tough. Charleston were ranked 3rd in the pre-season poll, and they dominated the race last season. They're going to be very tough this season. The other teams will be putting up quite a competition too. It's going to be fun to measure ourselves against MEC schools. We're hoping to put up a fight against Charleston and give them a good run for their money and see what we can do.
Awesome. What type of course will teams be running on?
For the women and the men, this is actually both 6K. Usually the men run 8K, 5 miles, and the women 5K. But since the championship for the women is 6K, this is a preparatory race for that distance. It's a fairly challenging course, and they're jumping up to 6K. So we're tossing them in the deep end here. Tough race, tough conditions, tough distance. The men will be running 6K too, which is less than their usual. They get a little break, actually.
Your men's team posted its 2nd consecutive 5th place last week at Berea. Individually, you had 3 runners place in top 15, Shaquan Wilkins, Anthony Wallace, and Will Young. How impressed were you with these 3?
They're very impressed. They've been very consistent. In fact, both Anthony and Shaquan both finished in exactly the same place, 7th for Shaquan, 13th for Anthony, that they'd finished both weeks in the same place. Remarkably consistent. Considering we've been building up to some very heavy training, mileage and speed work, and for them to still run consistently and strongly and competitively is great. We're going to see a lot more from these guys.
All right, men's and women's cross-country teams will be competing in Charleston on Saturday. You can find out the results on www.uvayscavs.com.